Today we're going to make a charcoal poultice. We will be using 3 ingredients. That is 100% psyllium husk, activated charcoal, and water. The ingredients are very simple. You want 1 part psyllium husk to 1 part charcoal and just enough water to make it a consistency that can be sliced, rolled, and frozen for future use. As you can see, we are using Metamucil, which is a commercial product that consists of 100% psyllium husk. It does have sucrose, which is sugar, to it, but that won't affect our poultice because we will be using it externally. It can be found in any drugstore out there, but also can be found in your neighborhood natural food store. Also, the activated charcoal is not as readily available, but you can find it in your natural food store, and also it can be ordered. Now what you need is a large bowl where you can mix your 2 ingredients pretty easily. You're going to pour first your psyllium husk. Here I have about a cup. Next you're going to spoon very carefully a cupful of charcoal, activated charcoal. You have to be careful because this activated charcoal is very fine and it can go airborne really quickly, and the next thing you know you're going to have a really big mess everywhere, and it is a nightmare to try to clean up charcoal because it does in fact go all over if it ever gets dropped or if any air catches it, so you want to be very careful. And see, I've dropped some already, but you just want to scoop out a cupful of your charcoal. Okay, so now carefully you want to mix it up really good. I suggest you do it slowly because, again, you don't want to cause any kind of air to take up this stuff and just have it everywhere all over your house. You'll have black dust just all over, but you want to take your time and mix it in really good with the psyllium husk. Okay. Next thing, you want to pour in very slowly again your water. Just pour in a little at a time. This is a cup of water, but I'm just going to pour in maybe a half a cup at first. And then I'm going to stir it, and you can, hopefully you can see the consistency of it. It's black, so you may not, but I'm going to, once we're done, you'll see how it's changed from being a powder into kind of a gel, because the psyllium husk is a gel substance once it gets wet. Okay, so we're going to pour in, looks like we're going to use this whole cup. And you can always add a little more psyllium husk to it. I don't suggest you add any more charcoal because it's not really necessary. There's plenty of charcoal in here, but you may need to add more water or more psyllium husk depending on the consistency of your poultice recipe. And so you can see now it started to lump up really good. That's what we want. It's going to swell. All right, this is going to make a nice batch, and you see the lumps are coming in here. So you just want to make sure that all the dust in the bottom is up and wet and moist. And we're getting there. Okay, you see that? All right, as it turns out, we actually added about 2 cups of water, a little bit more, maybe 2 cups and 1/8 of water to our 1 cup of psyllium and 1 cup of charcoal. And as you can see, we got a real good consistency here. And you can tell because if you pick up some of the crumbs, you can press them between your fingers and they really hold together good. And you can imagine if you had a wound or like some type of skin infection or something you wanted to draw out poisons or toxins or whatnot, you could actually take this and you see it sticks pretty good to your skin. Okay, so that's exactly what you want. All right, now next thing we're going to do is prepare our poultice. For this part, you might want to use some latex gloves because it can get kind of messy. And if you can see it, I have spread out some saran wrap or cling wrap to the counter. And what I'm going to do is just dump out our very nicely mixed charcoal onto the saran wrap. and then I'm going to cover it with another layer and then going to roll it out. Okay, as you can see, we have placed our charcoal poultice mixture onto the saran wrap, and I'm just trying to soften it up a little and get it somewhat spread out on the saran wrap, because we're going to cover it shortly with another layer of the plastic wrap, and then we're going to roll it out nice and flat and as evenly as we can with our rolling pin. So if you ever play with silly putty or Play-Doh, you might get the children involved and it could get messy, though. I don't know if you want to do that. But anyway, it can roll out pretty quickly once you get started. You might want to wear an apron or some other kind of protective uniform or outfit, because like I said, this charcoal can get to be very, very messy, but it's so beneficial. It's absolutely worth it. All right, as you can see, we have covered our lump of charcoal with another layer of saran wrap, and now we're ready to roll it out. Nice and covered. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll it out and let you see. It's just kind of flattening out real good. Just keep rolling it to the edges. I'm doing this with one hand because I want you to get the idea of how it does kind of stay still and cooperates. And as long as it stays under there, we got it nice and neat. And you'll be surprised at how much of a poultice we're going to end up with, and you can use it in an emergency. You can break off pieces and thin places, and you know, it's very handy and very convenient. Have it, a nice long flat. It's about a ½ or quarter to a ½ inch thick. Perfect size for any use. And just for demonstration purposes, let's see if I can get an edge up so that you can see what it looks like now that we've gotten it flattened out here. Oh, let's see. Okay, peel back a little, and you see it's nice and flat. Doesn't even come off on your fingers as much. You're going to leave it sealed between the two pieces of saran wrap or plastic wrap, because it makes it very easy to roll up. So you're going to take the edge one side, and you can start your roll. And start to roll it in a nice log. Okay, and look at me, I'm doing it with one hand, but you of course would use both hands. But you roll it up really nicely. Okay, and thank God for the little edges we have over here, because that helps to seal it up real good. Okay, you can take the edges on the end, just kind of close them in a little. Okay, and there you have it, charcoal poultice. Now you take this and you throw it in the freezer, and you keep it until you need it or someone else needs it. When you're ready, you set it on the counter just like this, let it thaw out. You can open it up again, break off little pieces, or even use the whole thing. I've used it on cancer patients. I've used it for bee stings. I've used it for all types of things. For gum infection, you just pinch off a piece of it, put it between your gum and your jaw, and let it sit there overnight or until you feel better. When you take it off, you'll see that it has actually drawn the infection out of your gum. It also will draw pus and germs and all types of other things. This is wonderful. This is wonderful, and it's thank God for activated charcoal. God bless.